A realtor is always a broker or agent because being licensed is a requirement for being a realtor, but a broker may not always be a realtor. That's because realtor is a trademarked, made-up title used by real estate brokers who are members of the National Association of Realtors, otherwise known as NAR, the primary trade association for real estate brokers in the United States. Essentially, being a realtor means the real estate agent went one step further after getting licensed and joined the National Association of Realtors, which is a private trade organization for real estate agents. Realtor versus real estate agent. A real estate agent can be a realtor if he or she is a member of the National Association of Realtors, NAR, America's largest trade group for real estate agents. However, a real estate agent who is not an NAR member cannot call themselves a realtor. A realtor, on the other hand, is always a real estate agent. That's because being licensed is a prerequisite for membership in the NAR. Are all real estate agents realtors? No. Even though the National Association of Realtors boasts over 2 million members across the United States, not all real estate agents choose to join and become realtors. There are many real estate brokers who choose to operate independently of the NAR. With that said, most real estate agents are realtors because most MLS systems across the country are operated by local realtor associations, meaning that you have to be an NAR member in order to participate. Since the MLS is critical for a real estate agent to be able to do business, most agents do in fact join the NAR and become realtors. What is a real estate agent? A real estate agent is someone who's licensed to practice real estate in a particular state. The term real estate agent is rather generic and doesn't provide specifics on what type of license the person has. For example, a licensed real estate salesperson, a licensed associate real estate broker, and a licensed real estate broker are all real estate agents. A real estate agent is called such because he or she acts as an agent on behalf of the principal, i.e. the customer, to buy, sell, or rent real estate. As a result, a real estate agent has an agency relationship and serves the interests of the principal. Difference between real estate agent and real estate broker. A real estate agent is a general term for someone who acts on behalf of and in the best interests of a principal, otherwise known as a customer. The term real estate agent does not reveal any specifics on the type of licensure that the agent has. In contrast, a real estate broker generally refers to someone who is a licensed real estate broker, which is the highest form of licensure. A licensed real estate broker can work individually as a sole proprietor or start a real estate brokerage company. A licensed real estate broker is able to bring on licensed real estate salespersons and licensed associate real estate brokers to work for him or her, generally as independent contractors. In essence, anyone who is not a licensed real estate broker must associate their license with a licensed real estate broker in order to use their license. Difference between real estate salesperson and broker. A real estate salesperson is the easiest type of real estate license to get and does not require any prior experience. In New York, a real estate salesperson must simply complete a 75-hour pre-licensing course, pass a real estate school exam, and then pass the state exam, all of which are relatively easy. In contrast, a real estate broker's license is much harder to get. You typically need to work as a licensed real estate salesperson for at least 2 years and have completed a minimum number of deals to even qualify. Furthermore, you'll need to take an additional 45-hour course and take an additional exam for real estate brokers. As you can imagine, it's much more difficult to become a licensed real estate broker versus just a licensed real estate salesperson. This is why the vast majority of real estate licensees that you'll meet will be licensed real estate salespersons versus brokers. Realtor versus broker versus agent. Which is better? Remember that a realtor is simply a custom title used by members of the National Association of Realtors. Other than membership, there's no real difference between a realtor and a broker or agent who is not a realtor. Sure, realtors technically have to abide by a code of conduct and ethics guidelines provided by NAR. However, just having these additional guidelines and rules doesn't mean they get enforced on a regular basis. The main difference will be whether the local broker database in your area is governed by a realtor-operated MLS system or not. Assuming the local realtor association runs the MLS in your area, then it does in fact make a difference whether your agent is a realtor or not. Only a realtor will be able to take advantage of the MLS. A non-realtor will generally not be able to. This is a huge disadvantage to not being a realtor, as you won't be able to effectively cooperate with other agents. This distinction, of course, goes away if the local broker database has nothing to do with NAR, such as the REBNY RLS in New York City.